Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling two words we often use interchangeably, ethics and morality. But are they truly the same? Well, the short answer is nope. And the difference between them? It's actually a lot more important than you might think. So let's dive in. Look, it's a super common point of confusion, so don't worry if you've mixed them up. But getting this distinction right is key, because it helps us think way more clearly about our own values and the principles that guide our lives. Okay, so first up, let's just focus on one of them, morality. What do we actually mean when we talk about it? When you boil it all down, morality is a code of conduct. It's the set of beliefs and principles that a person or a whole society uses to judge whether something is good, bad, or somewhere in the middle. A great way to think about it is like this. Morality is the internal software that's kind of running in the background, guiding our day-to-day decisions. It's the lived experience of our values in action, how we use our freedom to try and live a good life based on the principles we hold, whether they come from our family, our culture, or just our own personal experience. All right, so if morality is the software, the code we're running on, then where does ethics fit into all of this? Well, ethics, which is also known as moral philosophy, is the formal study of those moral codes. It's the whole discipline of stepping back to question, to analyze, and to organize our moral beliefs. So, in other words, morality is the thing that ethics studies. So let's stick with that software analogy. If morality is the software, then ethics is basically the process of debugging it. It's about examining the code to see if it really works, why it works, and maybe how it could be better. And this isn't just some abstract thought experiment. It's about really reflecting on our deepest beliefs and asking those huge, challenging questions. Okay. Now that we have a feel for both, let's put them side by side to make the difference crystal clear. You know, our source points to this quote from the Encyclopedia Britannica, and it just sums it up so perfectly. Morality is about an action itself. Is it right or wrong? Ethics, on the other hand, is the study of why we think it's right or wrong. One is the thing, the other is the examination of the thing. And here's another way to break it down. Morality is the code, the beliefs, the what we should do. Ethics is the study, the examination, the why behind those beliefs. So morality is about having the rules, and ethics is about questioning the rules. Okay, so we've got definitions, analogies, this is all great, but what's the big deal? Why does any of this actually matter in the real world? Well, because in the real world, our moral codes collide with other people's moral codes all the time. And that's the key. That's when ethics becomes absolutely essential. When our simple internal rules of right and wrong aren't quite enough to handle a really complex situation, ethics gives us a framework. It gives us the tools to reason our way through these tough spots. And the source points to some great real-world examples. I mean, think about a time in your own life. Have you ever been in a spot where your personal values clashed with, say, the rules at work? Or when the things you were taught at home were totally different from what your friends believed? That kind of friction, as the source points out, can sometimes even lead to us having a kind of double standard morality. Our source also includes this incredible historical ad as an example of a public ethical debate in action. Here, you have one group, the ACLU, publicly questioning the moral code of another group. Now, we're not taking a side on the issue itself, of course. The point is to show how ethics works out in the open. It's the critical, public examination of a particular moral stance. So, what does this all mean for you? What's the big takeaway? Honestly, understanding this distinction is like a superpower. It moves you from just having a moral code to being able to thoughtfully examine it. It helps you become a more critical, more self-aware thinker about your own values and the world around you. And that really brings us to one last big question for you to think about. How do you go about examining your own moral code? In the end, it really comes down to this. Morality is like having a map. It gives you the directions. But ethics? Ethics is knowing how to read the map, understanding the whole landscape, and having the tools to navigate anywhere you need to go.